Yeah, yeah. Now the show is about to start. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Now the show is about to start. It's about to start. Oh yeah, ladies. Now the show is about to start. Yeah.
Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know.
VLenore.
VLenore.
Yeah. Giving you celebrity gossip. What's going on in the news? She'll talk about beauty, interview your favorite celebs too.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know.
VLenore.
VLenore.
Oh. Na, na, na. Yeah. Now the show is about to start, ladies and gentlemen. Now the show is about to start. It's about to start. Oh yeah, ladies. Yeah. Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. The VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. VLenore, VLenore. Yeah.
Giving you celebrity gossip, what's going on in the news. She'll talk about beauty, interview your favorite celebs too. Get ready,
Get ready,
get ready,
get ready.
get ready.
Come on and join the VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. The VLenore show. That's the girl you need to know. VLenore,
Well, hello, we are back. Welcome to the VLenore show. I'm your host, VLenore, and this is a real show. I said it's a real show. Yeah. That's better. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. But all of this is Alteria's fault. That's all I have to say. All that has transpired over the last couple of days with my shows it's all Alteria's fault. Okay? Now, let me explain. So when Alteria was here a few days ago, there was an echo and there was just a interference between the shared screen and Alteria, so I muted the shared screen and it stayed muted. Who'da thunk it? It stayed muted and therefore we couldn't hear anything. All right, so that happened. All right, so I thank you all for your patience. We are going to do this damn thing again. First off, though, let me acknowledge something. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day. We are honoring him today. Many of you are off work. I wish all of you were. My son had to work today. he's the kind of dude that does not miss work, doesn't miss anything. And I was like, you should have taken this day off. I remember before Dr. King even had a birthday, of course he had a birthday, but before he had this actual holiday, before it was declared a federal holiday, my family would take it as one anyway on his actual birthday. So no matter what day of the week, his birthday fell on January 15th, I was out of school. And I remember for several years we would do a march downtown on Dr. King's Day to, reiterate how important it was that he be acknowledged and that he deserved a holiday. He is not a Charlie Kirk. He's an actual hero and should be considered a hero in American history, actually in world history. This man changed lives. He gave up his life. He sacrificed his life, and so did his family, just so that he could fight for the injustices of the world. So again, I want to acknowledge him because he has made it possible for many of the opportunities that I've ever had in my life, right? As a Black woman, as a minority in this country. And I'm just so, I mean, I couldn't do it. Everybody can fight in their own way. Dr. King was literally on the front lines, getting beaten and hosed down and arrested time and time again. His being threatened, his life being threatened many times prior to them actually succeeding. So I just want to say thank you to Dr. King. Thank you to his family. Thank you, God, for using him in the way that you did. And he is an example to all of us to find our way to protest against injustice, because there's more than one way to do it. And everyone can't do it like Dr. King. He was special. So grateful to him, grateful to his family, grateful for everyone who assisted and supported him through the movement. And he is someone that I think of often, more often now than ever, because of what's going on. Anyway, thank you, Dr. King. All right. So hopefully today you do something that honors him as well. All right. Dr. King, I know you may not be proud of my approach here, but I'm about to cuss this motherfucker out, Dr. King. You are nonviolent, Dr. King. I woke up choosing violence today. Okay. All right. Let's get into why we are here today. Okay. We are here. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Child, let's get on with the show, baby. You know what's been happening around here. It's been a mess this morning already. Already it's been a mess. Sheesh. So we're just going to get into the content. All right. So with that said, let's get into the content, shall we? So today, we tried to do this the other day, but we had some technical difficulties. But Carlos King did a story on this default judgment that Christian Gold received the other day, last week. And we are going to actually react to this. I actually have another video. Hell, this is already the second live. I was thinking about doing a third. Well, it's going to be the second live, but you know what I mean. I was thinking about doing another video today because there is another video I would like to react to, which is Jen speaking of being scammed the last time, with the last guy who stole her car and money. I want us to get into that because there are things that Jen is saying in this interview that is so crazy to me. The things she is saying in that video, she has somehow forgotten what that feels like. I mean, she has. So we have to address it because I really don't know how a person can be so crazy and inconsistent. Like, as long as she's not getting scammed, it's not a scam. Y'all, we have got to go over that video. I may do it today. Please hit that like button. That's going to be very important. And if you don't mind, please hype the video. I'd really appreciate it. Please hype the video. Ay. But I hope everyone is having a great day. If you're off, enjoy the rest, but also do something to acknowledge Dr. King. All right. So let's get into it. We are going to be listening to Carlos, who is has a co-host today. Her name is Courtney Parker. We talked about who Courtney Parker is. Again, I kind of want to, let's talk about that real quick. It's not over here. Of course it isn't. Is it over here? I don't have it over here. Let me bring it up. I want you to understand who Courtney is. This is Courtney. Courtney Parker used to work very closely with Evelyn. Okay? She was the ghostwriter for Evelyn's book. She's holding it there. I believe Evelyn's book, if I remember correctly, it was a fiction. It was based on actual occurrences that she had experienced, I believe, as a basketball. Well, she wasn't a wife, but she was immersed in that community, if you will, of basketball wives and just the what do they call those wags women? What's a wag? Doesn't it have something to do? Y'all write out in the comments or in the chat, what does wag stand for? Is it wife something? I don't know what it is. But anyway, she was very much a part of that arena of professional athletes, their girlfriends, their wives. Okay, wives and girlfriends. So she's a wag. She was a wag, okay? And she was people always say, well, she wasn't even married, but she was with a man for 10 years that was in the NFL. And then, she after that, people. You become friends with people, other wives of athletes, other people. You meet so many people. So she used that experience to write her book. And Courtney, this lady who is co-hosting today with Carlos, she was the one doing that for her. Okay, they worked very closely together. Now, let me show you another one. Just so we're clear, again, this is the book, Inner Circle, okay? Because she was what? In the inner circle. Absolutely. And the other thing I want to show you, because there were some things that were going on between she and Evelyn. We talked about this the other day. I just want to make sure that we get a recap and a refresher of what's actually happening here. Let me close that. So there were things that happened a little over 10 years ago between Courtney and Evelyn. There was some sort of fallout. I'm still not clear on everything that happened, but from what I understand and could make out, because I had to go back and really think about where was this girl from? And what was her situation? I remember her coming on Basketball Wives. I remember her being connected to Evelyn on some level. And I remember them working on her makeup line as well as that book. So it sounds like, this is Evelyn sending a message to some folks regarding the fact that Evelyn was not getting paid for the cosmetics company, and it looks like Courtney was taking all the money allegedly. Okay, looks like she was taking the money. Okay, that ain't good. All right, we don't want you taking the money, Courtney. So we looking at you crazy. We looking at you like a scammer. That's how we looking. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you're a scammer. I don't know you, but it's looking that way. And you're over here taking up for another one. Okay. Then there was this other message, and she said exactly. The show had to file insurance. She's not getting one dime from me after stealing $70,000. $70,000. Let's talk about motivations here again real quick. Carlos, I think, is in a interesting position because one, he's allegedly close friends with Jen, and allegedly she's close friends with Jen, or he's close friends with Jen. He's been out to dinner with Jen and Christian. He promoted the wedding. He attended the wedding in Paris. But he also has a job to report what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So this lady, who is his co-host for the day, she's falling out with Evelyn, and now she's caping for Jen. So I'm guessing she's good friends with Jen now. Yeah. Okay, let's listen to what they have to say about this judgment. They are talking to Judge Tierney out of Georgia. I don't know what county she's out of, but she is explaining what this default judgment means. And they are trying so hard to not make Christian guilty. Their whole argument is, well, a default judgment doesn't mean he's guilty. It just means he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Why would a millionaire who has a brand, a lucrative brand, allegedly, why would he not do what he's supposed to do? Isn't he about his business? Let's just start there. Who wants to do business with somebody who is not handling their business? If he won't handle this business, why are you entrusting him with your business? Now that is the question. And why on earth wouldn't he respond? I can tell you why. Because he didn't have the money to do so. He didn't want to spend the money he did have. So he used ChatGPT and represented himself improperly, because that's what people worth $5, $6, and $10 million do. That's what they do. All millionaires do this. They do not deal with attorneys when handling their business. That's what we supposed to believe? No, we know that this nigga is a scammer. And I'm not saying allegedly, because he owes people money. And he wrote a promissory note saying he was going to give it. And it's been over a year and he has not done it. But he has been everywhere. He has not paid the wedding planner in Paris. He has not paid his child support since it has been court ordered in July. He is over $25,000 in arrears with child support. He owes these folks from this default judgment nearly $400,000, about $360 some odd $1,000. This man is full of shit. He is a scammer. And the fact that any of you would stand up here and try to protect him is not protecting Jen. You say you love her, but you are out here trying to promote this fool, and the fact that he got this judgment and acting like, oh, it's no big deal. No, it's a fucking big deal. And when the FBI come out here snatching his ass up, we're going to see what you say then. What are you going to say then? Are you going to say that is not real too? Because this was a civil RICO. Trust and believe. I'll put my bottom dollar on it. It's going to be a criminal RICO too. Period. Yes. Cynthia A said there's a judgment against him, so it is not allegedly anymore. It sure isn't. You didn't do what you needed to do because you knew you fucking owed them, Christian. Oh, I'm 21 minutes in, so I'm cussing. Okay, I'm cussing. All right, did y'all hit the like button? Let's get into this shit. Let's get into it. All right, so let's go on right over here. Let's listen to these folks as they speak with Judge Tyranny about what this default judgment means. And she does lay it out. She defines it for us. She tries to stay in the middle ground of everything. So let's listen to what's being said here, okay?
Raindrops, Happy New Year. Reality crime story is back. Give it up for Courtney Parker and Judge Tyranny.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How's it going, ladies?
It is going well.
Yes.
I
It
got
is
the
the year of the horse.
So we're off to the races.
Off to the races. I got reelected for a 4th term.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I got to spend a little time in Atlanta with my friend TG. So
We
yeah.
missed you, Carlos.
I know. Courtney texted me. She's like, are you going to be in Atlanta? I'm like, darn it. I'm going to be out of town that week. But I saw the photos on y'all Instagram, and y'all both looked absolutely stunning.
Okay, so they're friends. Great. Okay, they're friends. They met. They hung out. They were in Atlanta. Carlos saw the pictures. Awesome. Okay, let's get to the content.
And congratulations again for getting reelected.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always a great time.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, Courtney, this is always a little bit uncomfortable when you have to talk about, news that involve your friends. What was so interesting is this very show kicked off with Portia and Simon, and I'm friends with Portia. But we're able to navigate through that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Well, girl, they think you are, according to the comments.
Friends with anyone.
They said, Courtney, are you and Simon cousins? What's going on, baby? You are.
Literally. Judge Tyranny. They thought me and Simon had a thing going on. That's in my life.
That's the beauty of this show, is the fact that we get to have fun while some unfortunate things are being said about our friends. And look, friends of mine, and Courtney knows Jennifer Williams as well. Jennifer Williams and Christian Gold, obviously the world knows this. I attended their wedding. I love them. They are friends of mine.
You love them. They are friends of yours. Be a friend, Carlos. Be a friend.
Who I love very deeply and dearly. Unfortunately, some things have happened that we are going to talk about. And I'm also going to read some things that Jennifer posted in defense of their version of what happened. But raindrops, okay.
So yes, let's go over the details. Carlos, you say you love them deeply. Carlos, if you really love your friend deeply, and I mean Jennifer, because as far as I'm concerned, Christian can't be a friend to anyone because he's a thief. and he doesn't keep any promises. So he can't be a friend to you. You don't really know him from what I can tell, because you don't seem to want to acknowledge the fact that this nigga has been scamming people, sir. And this is not me coming at you, Carlos. This is me just saying, tell your friend the truth. But let's hear what they have to say about their friends that they love so deeply, okay? Hey, Leo Lady. Leo Lady says, I was wondering if the judge is related to the lawyer that Nesta was trying to get, Overton Theory. Wait, what's her name? I think her name was Tyranny. I think this lady's name. Is it Tyranny or Tyranny? Because I thought he's saying Judge Tyranny. Maybe he's saying Judge Tyranny. Spelling may be wrong, but the same last name as the judge. Really? Okay, is that how she says her name? Okay. All right. Okay, let's get it.
This episode is personal and full of layers. It involves Basketball Wives royalty Jennifer Williams and her husband Christian Gold. What has happened recently is Jennifer's husband failed to respond to a civil lawsuit against him, and that silence unfortunately cost him a default judgment totaling $367,000. I'm sorry, $625.20. So, Courtney, what is going on with this that just broke the internet this week?
Well, and what's funny is this story isn't just coming out of nowhere, right? It didn't start with a court order. It didn't start with a default judgment. It started when Jennifer, and it didn't even really start when Jennifer said, I do. This actually started years ago with a man who has quietly been moving in these circles of day trading, what people are calling like this pyramid scheme.
No, they're calling it a Ponzi scheme. This isn't a pyramid scheme. Not that, I mean, I don't think it's been accused of that, but they are accusing it of being a Ponzi.
And she has kind of been thrown into the limelight of what his core business is. Christian Gold, who is also known as Christian Walden, he's not a public figure the way that Jennifer is. He didn't come into this marriage with a reality show background, or really, from what I gathered, a very visible brand. But what has been circulating for some time has been the long string of lawsuits behind him being a businessman, an investor, a day trader, and just an overall financial connector.
This is not about, he didn't get lawsuits because of him being a businessman. He has lawsuits because he owes people money and he scammed them out of it. And he was going to return it and he didn't. That is why he's getting the lawsuits. Not for anything else. Not because he's a businessman. Okay? All right? Let's be clear about that. Yes, Miss Principal. She's just talking to be talking, child. She's just running at the gums, okay? She is running at the mouth and got shit to say, trying to sound cute, but it's not. Okay, but go ahead. Let's listen.
Several people have said that, you know, they've been scammed by this man. And so as we look at this judgment, and Judge Tyranny can just give us some insight as to what this judgment is, explaining to us kind of the facts of the law, and more importantly, as I've read what these Georgia RICO charges are, like everything associated with Georgia, whether it be music or, you know, politics, they're throwing RICO charges away and around like freaking glitter in a strip club. I don't know, but we really want to get into the weeds of what this judgment means. Is it indicative of innocence or guilt? And just kind of some of the
He guilty. He's guilty. He had no defense. He had no money, so he had no attorney. So he loses. It's a wrap. He's guilty.
legalities surrounding this very public case involving someone that both Carlos and I and her fans adore, Jennifer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, just to recap what's going on, pre 2025, this is all alleged. Plaintiffs alleged that Christians solicited money for investment opportunities. Funds were allegedly collected with promises of business use, returns, or deployment into ventures. Plaintiffs claimed the investments were not executed as represented and that funds were misappropriated or misused. February 21st of 2025, plaintiffs formally filed a civil lawsuit against Christian in Cobbs County, Georgia. March 4th of the same year, Christian is personally served with the lawsuit, meaning he legally receives notice and is obligated to respond, which will get the judge to inform us of the law. June 17th of 2025, plaintiffs file a motion for default judgment after Christian fails to respond properly within statutory deadlines. August 8th of 2025, Christian submits a late response but does not cure the default conditions required by the court. December 16th, 2025, court enters an order confirming default status and allows limited opportunity to correct, which does not occur. January 12th, yes, this week of 2026, the final judgment entered awarding three things: liquidated damages, treble damages under Georgia RICO, pre and post judgment interest for the total that I outlined earlier. That was over $367,000. So,
Did you see how Courtney shook her head, child? Did you see how Courtney shook her head? She is in disbelief as she is actually there to report on it. She act like she just heard this for the first time, child. Did you see her shaking her head? She's distraught for old Jen and her man. Because those her friends. Miss Principal says she should practice public speaking to reduce the use of filler words. Yeah, I know. Oh, let me do something real quick. I apologize because there has been so much freaking craziness going on this morning. Only Me 23, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Girl, you did that on this Good Monday. I appreciate you so much. I want to apologize because when we came live, first I want to say I'm almost certain I saw that Only Me 23 had gifted a membership. I apologize for not acknowledging Only Me 23. I meant to before we left. But I want to thank you for blessing me again, for constantly blessing this channel. I love you so much. I appreciate you. And it looks like, let's see, who got it? Thirsty Rabbit is the newest member of Club B. Yay! So Thirsty Rabbit, we'll see you on Friday at the V-Stylers Happy Hour from 4 p.m. Pacific to about 7 p.m. Pacific. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Hope to see you there on Friday. But thank you again. Only Me 23, I love you. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. Look at old girl just over here shaking her head, and she is so distraught, child. She's so distraught. Okay, let's listen. Please hit that like button. I appreciate it.
Courtney, I want to ask Judge the first question, and I have you take it away. What I'm learning again, doing the show, talking to you, Judge, my friend Ebony K. Williams, I am understanding the law more and more and more. When anybody files a lawsuit against you, you have to respond by law. And if you don't respond, more than likely, or all the time, the judgment defaults back to the plaintiff. Do I have that accurate?
So before I respond, it is a new year, but same-ish. So I must give the raindrops my disclaimer. I am not giving you all legal advice. I cannot comment on an open case. And even though the judge has entered into a final order, the final order, from my understanding, was entered into yesterday, which means there are possible remedies that may still leave this case open. With all of that said, you are correct. Plain English, bottom line, you cannot ghost the court. I mean, you
Good way
can't.
of saying it, right? That's a good way of saying it.
So if anyone can file a lawsuit, but you are obligated, one, to make sure that you respond. And as I have said repeatedly, I advise everyone to get a lawyer, because procedurally, you must have notice, you must respond, and you must do so within the rules of the court. If you do not do that, you can end up in a situation where a default judgment is entered against you. And I want to make sure that people understand that a default judgment isn't like the judge picking sides or picking favorites or say, I believe this person. A default judgment is that the plaintiff has filed a lawsuit and the defendant did not respond in an adequate or timely manner.
Got
And
it.
because courts are designed to have a finality of a matter, once those time requirements lapse, the court is going to close the case. So it's not necessarily to say that the allegations in the original lawsuit are true.
Got
It's
it.
just that we're not going to hear your side of the story. We, meaning the court, your side, meaning the defendant, which means that the plaintiff's side is what is on record.
Got it. So then, does that answer your question, Carlos?
So basically, and I loved how she put it when she said you cannot ghost the court. The court is going to do their business, and you can participate properly or not. And if you don't participate properly, if you don't respond properly, you can end up with a default judgment. And that's just in a civil matter. Just like you would not want to go ignoring the court for a criminal matter, you just cannot ignore the court. So someone with means would definitely have a lawyer on deck that could handle this stuff appropriately and advise his client, he or she, advise their client on what their options are, and maybe even give some advice on how to settle the matter so that it does not, grow into something more. Christian has been ignoring all of this shit. I don't know why. I don't know if he thought it was a joke. I don't know if he thought he could run away from it. I really don't know what he thought. Maybe he thought they can't prove anything. Maybe he's trying to say it's civil, and it is civil, but it might just turn criminal here. In fact, let me just say, it's going to turn criminal. The FBI is on it. Look, how many times have we heard Altera say that the FBI was on the case, that she's spoken to the FBI agent, all of that. They're talking to the FBI. FBI is talking to them for a reason. So it's going to turn criminal. Carlos, get your friend. Get your friend, Carlos. Okay, Judge, tell us more.
Oh, it does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the things that people keep saying, especially in the comments, are if you didn't respond, just because the plaintiffs won this judgment, he must be guilty. And so clarify that for us, as you just already did, but that is not necessarily the case. It just means that the defendant hasn't responded or didn't respond properly or adequately to please the court.
So
you see how they're trying to make this and she's correct. Like, we're not going to sit here and be fun. It is correct. Just because he got this default judgment, it does not mean that he has been proven guilty in the court of law. Okay? But the evidence says he's guilty. And that's why I don't feel like I need to say allegedly when it comes to what this man has been a part of, what he has done with these people. I saw the Zooms. I played the Zooms on here where he is up front telling these people what they're going to earn daily. He came over here and lied, but he literally told these people they could earn up to 3% daily on their investment, that they would be a millionaire a year from the point he was talking to them. And if they were not millionaires a year later, that we could call him a scammer. He said this out of his mouth, that if they invested with him and they were not millionaires a year from that point, we could call him a scammer. Well, sir, thank you for your permission. You are a scammer. Period. All right, let's listen.
Again, we have procedures and rules for a reason, and you must follow those guidelines. People love saying, hey, I didn't get it. It'll just go away if I don't respond. Every time you ignore anything in a criminal or civil court, bad things happen. So it is worth noting that this is a civil RICO, not a criminal RICO. The difference is a civil RICO is prosecuted or presented, not prosecuted. Civilians can't prosecute. A civil RICO is brought forth by a plaintiff, a civilian. A criminal RICO is brought forth by a law enforcement agency.
Got it.
And so to say that someone is guilty or not guilty does not apply in a civil RICO. In a civil RICO, they're either going to be held liable or not liable. And the biggest thing I think that people don't understand, and I know you're like sprinkling it like sparkles or confetti, but in Georgia, civil RICO is treble damages, as Carlos said earlier. And what that means is that whatever you are awarded is 3 times the amount. It's like catching the lottery.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello? So remember, this lawsuit was originally with all of the 20 victims that were part of the lawsuit, the plaintiffs. There were about 20 of them, and it added up to about $120,000+. Well, because he didn't answer, because he didn't do what he was supposed to do, when they entered into the default judgment, now he owes 3 times the amount that he owed in the beginning. You tell me why a person worth $5, $6, or $10 million, because all these numbers have been spoken, okay? Why on earth would they allow $120,000 to cause all this trouble for them? He could have he could have sent everybody away just by giving them the money that he owed them. They wouldn't be prosecuting him. They may or may not have talked about it on Basketball Wives, who knows? But what I do know is it doesn't make sense that this man couldn't have paid $120,000. Hell, there was one lady first of all, he owed Kiki $1,400. Pay it. Just give her money back and send her on the way. You kept saying you were going to give her money and send her on the way. You said it on Basketball Wives that you could just give her the money and send her on her way. But what you didn't do was give her money and send her on her way. But there was one lady who you owe $150, and you were dumb enough to tell me about it. You came out here, thought you were proving some point about these people being petty, but you haven't proven to me that you could just pay them off and send them on their way. Why would you want somebody to even sue you for $150? And the fact that they sued you tells you they are doing it for principal purposes. There's a purpose here. You stole from these people. Christian, please hit the like button. Okay, let's get.
So the amount of the $325,000, that was not the amount that initially was that he was sued for.
I have no idea. I don't respond to specific cases. But what I'll do is give you an example and say, if you are Carlos King are awarded $100,000 under treble damages, it goes to $300,000.
Got it.
Because the point of civil RICO is to compensate the plaintiff, but it is also to deter the defendant.
Deter the
What?
defendant from what?
From reoffending. She can't be this slow. Girl, my earring is disgusted with your ass. Are you serious? What you mean deter from what? From stealing from motherfuckers again? Basically. But I digress. It's okay, girl. Stay on in here. Stay on in here, girl. Okay. Deter the I'm going back a couple seconds. She said deter the defendant from what? From doing this shit again. He could have just paid them, send them on their way, but now he got to pay him 3 times the amount with interest accruing daily. Daily interest. Altira, you still saying your name right, girl. Altira, how much is the interest per day? Isn't it like $90-something a day until he pays this shit? Huh? Nick. I'm always over here yelling. Hey, Queen Black. I'm always over here yelling, child. Yes. Talking about you sound like me when I first heard this. Yelling in the kitchen. I know. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, let's listen. Talking about deter from what? I just went back to hear that again.
Because the point of civil RICO is to compensate the plaintiff, but it is also to deter the defendant.
Deter
What?
the defendant from what?
Because this is not generally going to be considered under civil RICO a misunderstanding in a business transaction. Civil RICO means that there is an alleged pattern of misconduct.
And that's what this is, a civil RICO.
This is
And they're alleging a pattern of misconduct.
and the court has now, through default judgment, awarded treble damages as well as fees and interest.
So you hear that, Carlos? There's a pattern here. Okay, there's a pattern. When you've got 20 people, just take the 20 people in this lawsuit. 20 people experienced this man in the same or a similar way. He took money from each one of these 20 people, different amounts, offering them different shit, giving different discounts, alleging different results from each of these people. That is a pattern. That is a pattern.
Got it. Now,
Okay.
what are some of the reasons that you have experienced in your career, Judge, why some people don't respond to a lawsuit? Based on your experience, do people think it's going to go away? Do they not understand the law so much? Do they oftentimes not contact an attorney? Are those some of the reasons that you have experienced?
And then before you answer that, can I jump in to say one of the things that you read, Carlos, stated that he did respond, but there was some misinformation or he had time to correct his response. Maybe something.
No, I'll
was-
read it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. So the thing is, they filed it February 21st of 2025, right? He was served March 4th,
Okay.
right? Between March and June, again, according to the documents, he did not respond, allegedly.
Properly.
June 7th, I'm reading at all because on June 17th, the plaintiffs filed a motion for default judgment after Christian fails to respond, yes, properly within the statutory deadline. So when I read that, I'm assuming, and Judge, you told me I got that wrong, he was served March 4th, and they're saying April, May, June, 3 months later, they
still
filed
had-
a motion for default. So that means more than likely he did not respond if they're filing for a motion for default.
And you, I mean, this is literally one of the reasons I love this show and coming on here.
Right.
Because I think that the bottom line is the public is not aware, uneducated about the legal system, criminal or civilly,
Got it.
and a lot of times afraid of what it means. Anytime you have to interface with the court system, which is why I believe that it's so important for us to educate them on things that happen so that default judgments are things that the public generally can avoid.
Okay.
And I mean, the list of reasons of a person why a person wouldn't respond, again, some people forget. I'm sorry, forgetting is not a legal excuse. Sometimes people are afraid. Again, sorry, not a legal excuse. Sometimes people think it will simply go away if I don't respond. You know how, like on Instagram, you can go silent and nothing happens. You cannot ignore the comments.
Right.
The court is not social media. If you do not respond, the court will respond for you.
Got it.
And again, I said this earlier, I want to repeat it. Responding means you get to tell your story. Everyone should want the opportunity to tell their story. So that the young man that you all have mentioned, he did not get a chance to tell his story, which means the story of the plaintiff is what is in,
Whether it's true or not.
is in the record.
Right.
Now, Courtney, I know you are really trying to stress the fact that this case may not be true because he wasn't proven guilty in a trial. No evidence was presented in the court system for your, for your viewing pleasure. But ma'am, explain to me why this $6 million man would need to represent himself and ignore the court. This is business. Ain't this about his business? Make it make sense. Why isn't he handling his business? Why isn't he contacting an attorney? Why is he sitting here ignoring the court? This man has been to prison. He knows about court. But maybe because it's a civil matter, he was less worried about it. I don't know. But things that start civil, sir, they can turn criminal. Like, let's not play with the court like this. But I'm glad you playing with it. I'm glad you playing. Hey, Del Sol, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's say all that is true. Do he need a law lecture to pay child support? Ooh. Explain that. You are so correct. You are so correct. Let's say all this true. Let's say he innocent. He forgot. He I don't know. Maybe his attorney is sick. I don't know. But let's say all this is true. What about that child support, Del Sol, right? What about that child support? Because that child support was supposed to start July 15th, I think. And he has not paid a dime. Not one penny. No, not one. No, not one. No, not one. Y'all remember? If you're a church girl, boy, you already know. Anyway, okay, all right. Thank you, Del. So I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, let's listen.
So a response is just that. Like, I'm gonna dummy this down for those people, sometimes like myself, that layman terms are classic. So a response is just that. It's a response. It's an opportunity for you to tell your side of the story. So it's not something that you should be afraid of. It's not something that is saying the one person is lying and the other person is telling the truth. It's just a way for what I'm hearing from you is it's a way for the court system to determine based off of both sides what is the circumstances to reach a resolution. And if you don't respond at all, then they only have the one side of the story to base a resolution on.
Right.
I will up the ante and say that you should be afraid of not responding.
Hello?
More than
Hello? 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 You should be afraid of not responding. Make it make sense why this millionaire wasn't on top of his shit. But y'all giving him money. I'm not talking about the victims. I'm not talking about the folks in this chat. I'm talking about anybody who comes after this. Anyone who is currently still rocking with this dude, giving him money. Think about this. Think about the 20, damn near 30 people that we actually know of that have sued this man. 20 of which have just received a default judgment. There's another lawsuit outstanding. He has not paid this child support, and you are not going to be able to explain that shit away. What we need to understand is why in the hell are you all taking up for it? That's the thing. You're trying to prove something. Let me tell you something. While it may be true that some people forget and some people don't know and some people are scared and all of this shit, that's not Christian's problem. Christian's problem is that he is broke, he is a scammer, and he thinks he can be slick enough to slide out of any fucking situation. And he's gonna fuck around and slide right back into prison. He gonna fuck right around and find out. And so is Jennifer.
In responding.
Yes.
Now, should people be afraid of responding if they don't have legal representation?
Again, I come from a legal background. I always believe that you need legal representation simply because as a civilian, there may be rules and procedures you are not aware of, which is why you go get an expert.
Hello?
Got it.
You are not going to have heart problems and diagnose yourself. You're going to go see a heart doctor because they're going to know about things that you do not know. And for some reason, people look at doctors in a way where they depend on them and they like them, but look at lawyers in a way where they may have a bad reputation. But really, the lawyer's job is to tell your story and get the outcome that you want based on the facts and evidence.
Got it.
It's your spokesperson
Right.
who knows the rules.
Who knows the rules of engagement? Talk to us a little bit, because what throws me, and I said it jokingly, but I'm so serious, with respect to Georgia's, now my understanding of civil RICO and criminal RICO. You've explained it to us, but how does it get to this level to even be considered a civil RICO?
Well, see, again, I'm glad you asked so we can repeat it again, because civil RICO is brought forth by a civilian who has had some kind of business dealing that has gone wrong, and the plaintiff believes that the defendant has an alleged pattern of misconduct.
And here we don't even have to say alleged. She got and let's say the plaintiff in this case, let's just call the main plaintiff. I'm just saying that, not that one is more important than the next. I'm not suggesting that. But Alteria has kind of led this whole thing. Alteria can prove that there seems to be a pattern because there's 19 other people associated with this one lawsuit. These 20 people say there is a pattern. These 20 people suggest that this man been lying to him and trying to get the damn money and got it. That's the pattern. Let's listen.
Mm-hmm. So the civil RICO is really designed to discourage people from taking advantage of other people while also making sure that they get restitution.
Got it.
Criminal RICO, whether it is state, Georgia, or federal, is going to be prosecuted in a criminal manner. And the outcome is going to be very different because you're always going to have the possibility of jail time. And sometimes financial judgments feels like a sentence, but it is very different from losing your freedom.
Got it. Carlos, do you want to ask this question from one of the viewers in the comments about Jennifer, or should I?
No, go right ahead. Because the thing is, listen, everybody wants to know, how does this impact his wife?
Right.
Go ahead, Courtney. Yeah.
And let's say this, because this is what they're here for. They are here to help Jen. And you can't tell me that Carlos does not have Courtney here to ask some of the questions he would love to know, but doesn't want to look bad asking them. And maybe feels that Courtney may have I don't know, but that's what I feel. I could be completely wrong, Carlos. I don't know you, but it feels like maybe Courtney is there to ask some of the questions you would like to ask. to take the fall for any tough questions she might ask pertaining to Jen. But it sounds like really they're both really over here caping for Jen. But let's listen.
Are really worried about Jennifer, and even though she's not named in the lawsuit, what does proximity to a judgment like this realistically mean for one's spouse?
I think it depends.
Okay.
That is a very legal answer, but it is a very true answer because
Right.
without knowing their asset or account distributions or anything like that, you have no idea how she will actually be impacted. But I don't believe that anyone could come to the presumption that a wife would not be impacted when her husband is going through such a severe financial matter.
Okay.
And so, if they have shared assets, if they have shared accounts, then she could possibly actually feel some blowback from this because it's really important to note that once a default judgment is ordered, and it is a court order by the judge, it now has to be enforced.
Got it.
And once you enforce a judgment, you can go and get assets, discovery on assets. You can enforce liens. You can enforce judgments. So if they have joint accounts, if their marital home is in both of their names, these are things that would affect the entire household.
Got it. Now, I have another question, Carlos. I have another question, then I have a question for you, particularly. When you said the household and it can affect her, is there a way, once a judgment like this has been reached, is there a way for him to course correct? Like, can he enter? Can it be reopened?
So the short answer is he can definitely ask.
Oh,
So he can ask the court. It will be up to the court to either grant it or deny it. Generally, once a court has closed the case, they are not going to reopen it unless there are extenuating circumstances. For example, I told you have to receive notice. If for some reason he was not properly served, that is a reason to reopen the case.
okay.
If he possibly had a lawyer who was incapacitated or didn't follow the rules of the law, he could possibly present that to the court and ask for the court to reopen his case. It has to be something that is going to be an extenuating circumstance. Generally, the court is not going to reopen a case that it has closed without some type of evidence suggesting that they simply were not ignored.
Okay. So basically, she suggests that if this man ain't sick on his deathbed, if this attorney didn't pass out, become unalive suddenly in the hospital, incapacitated, that's a problem. If this man, I don't know. I don't know what other excuse there could be. He says he was served. They have on record that he was served. He's saying he wasn't served. It's all the bottom line is Christian has no excuse. And he's worth $5 to $6 to $10 million. So make it make sense. And even still, with this default judgment, just pay them their $360,000, child, and go on about your business. And pay that lady her $25,000 and keep paying her $3,000+ a month for child support. Sir, make this work because make it go away. You're a millionaire. You are a mogul over there. You are a I don't know, a walking phenomenon where day trading is concerned. Sir, there's no reason for you to be in this situation. You should be able to get right on out of this situation. Oh, I forgot you were begging for $43.50 last month. Christian, why were you begging for $4,350 in December? Not even a month ago. All right, let's listen.
Right.
Got it. So I mean, the thing to note is the fact that, because we have to say it obviously for legal reasons too, he wasn't found guilty of a charge. This awarded judgment is strictly because of the default of him not responding. So I wanted to make that clear too.
But it is a court order now.
It's a
Right.
court
So
order.
I know,
he needs to do
but let me ask you this. Right, no, it's a court order. But technically, he's not found guilty, or is he?
He is being held liable by default judgment.
Eh,
This is a criminal case. So criminal cases are guilty or not guilty.
Got it.
And the burden of proof is going to be on the prosecutor, and it's going to be beyond a reasonable doubt. The highest burden standard burden of proof that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
A civil case is going to be either you are liable or not liable. And
Got
it is not like beyond a reasonable doubt. It is a preponderance
of the
of the evidence, meaning maybe or maybe not, more than likely you are guilty. It is a lower standard of the burden of proof.
And
Got
because
it.
you don't respond, because he, in this case, he didn't never respond, so it just kind of sways to the other side of liability.
The judge deemed because the rules were not followed. The judge decided to enter a default judgment of liability and awarded, based on the laws in the state of Georgia, treble damages as well as fees and interest.
Got it. Because
You cannot excuse this away, Courtney. This man did not respond because this man is broke and he's a scammer. He has spent all the money that these people have given to him. I don't know on what. I really don't. But I also believe, here's the other thing, y'all. Do you understand that I think people think Jen is rich. And she's not. I mean, I don't know her I'm not in her pockets like that, but she's not rich. She makes good money, but she is not rich. She does not make millions of dollars on Basketball Wives. She earns money per episode. There were only 10 episodes. She makes about $25,000 an episode. That means she makes $250,000 from that show a year. She is not rich. Now, she may wear a lot of expensive clothes. She may be out here jet setting and all this shit. But how in the hell is she doing all of that off of $250,000? Basically, ain't that what he was asking for last year? $250,000? I don't know what that was about, but she doesn't make that much money. They want to front like they do. Now, let's be clear. That's a good amount of money. I mean, she makes good money, but from a damn television show, I think people assume that she is making millions. Maybe he even assumed that. It is not true. She does not. So she probably, with him coming along, he probably has drained her fucking pockets like nobody's business. Yes, beautifully made. He was asking for $250,000. I wonder if he was just trying to get a salary for himself, assigned to himself for that amount. I don't know what that's about. That's right, my name is not girl. Said 40% of that, $250K goes to taxes. Or about, she might be able to write some of that off, like for her glam, her stylist. She may be able to write a good amount of that off. But yeah, you are absolutely correct. She ain't making that kind of damn money. And now she's on the hook for $200,000, allegedly. That's what That's what Attorney Simone Redwine has said. Simone says that at this point, he is putting her in the position where now she's liable for $200,000 of that, because if they don't have a post-nup, she in trouble. She is in trouble. Hey, Altera. Said Christian ain't filed taxes in 3 years. Remember, he told the child support judge that. This man is flat fucking broke. And he's about to make his wife flat broke too. And so all this talk about Jen came from money. Her father was an engineer at Boeing, was it? I'm sure he made six figures, and you can have a really good life making six figures, but he wasn't a millionaire. I heard some shit about she was going to school in limos every day. How? And why? I don't know if I believe that. I just don't. Did her mama work too? I mean, look, if he was making six figures, especially at the time she was growing up, child, he was making good ass money. If you're doing that now, you're making good ass money. So, okay, let's listen.
This was civil RICO, and you said it's likely 3 times the amount of the original amount that they were seeking.
That's by law. It's in the statute.
Okay. And there it shows a pattern. I want to go back to the word pattern because a lot of this we've seen play out on Basketball Wives. We've seen and heard the allegations against Jennifer's husband about, allegedly being a scammer.
Yeah.
He's done this to multiple people.
Yeah.
When you read the actual court order, there are a lot of allegations and other people coming forward saying that this has also happened to them. Is that part of the reason why they could establish this as a civil RICO? Because there is a said pattern, or is it just focused on the plaintiff filing this particular claim against him?
Well, based on what I heard you say, I think you would be presuming things that are not into evidence. Again, you have to realize that this is a default judgment. So a lawsuit was filed under the Georgia RICO, and the judge entered a order based on a default judgment. So nothing was presented in court. No one was given the opportunity to present their side, their evidence. They filed the original pleadings, and based on the lack of response thereof, there was a default judgment entered. So there's no way to properly discuss the facts of a case that never made it to the courtroom. It was by default judgment.
I want to read Jennifer Williams, his wife, did post this week an alleged text message. So I want to be able to read that. She did delete it. The blogs picked it up. The caption, Jennifer says, as she posted the alleged text messages, the ringleader and husband of the
Okay, now let before he reads these text messages, I'm still trying. Let me. I want to, Altira, I'm not doing this. I don't mean to offend you by showing this, but I feel like it's important to see exactly what she was. This shit is weird. There she goes. Let's see. Hold on. See if she still has it up. She does. Okay. All right. All right. I want to show you the messages that that Carlos is reading. Okay, thank you, Alteria. The point is not to drag this old shit back out to the forefront, but the bottom line is this makes no sense to me. I don't know exactly what it is that she thought she was proving. There are 20 people who were part of this lawsuit, not just Altira and Tobias. They were not the only people. Okay, there were several people part of this lawsuit. So when the default judgment comes through, why is your response directed at Altira and Tobias and talking about some personal marital shit between the two of them over a year and a half ago? It is really none of our business, none of your business. If y'all had a private conversation about relationships, that's your, what does that have to do with this business situation? If you remove Altira and Tobias out of the scenario, it sounds like you still owe nearly $100,000 to the rest of the people. So what are these text messages supposed to prove? It's so fucking weird. So I want to share my screen again. I'm going to take this one down. I want to share the screen because I want you to see what it is that she actually posted, because we got to make this make sense, because it don't. It does not. All right, let's go over here. Okay, these are the text messages. So and let me explain what we're looking at. Jennifer put in her stories. I think it was in her stories. It was either in her stories or a post on her channel. She posted what we're about to see. Lauren took that post and saved the reel of that post on her Instagram. So when Jennifer deleted it, but Lauren did not delete it. So we are going to read the actual post, but we're going to read it from Lauren's page. Does that make sense? Because she kept it. So let me go, because I want you to see how this starts, actually. Okay, we're going to watch that too in a minute. So here's the post. I guess that was supposed to be you, Altira. Okay, I guess. This is a text from Altira to, I guess, Christian. It says, Christian is really a man of his word. I've been with Liquid Assets a few months in the account management class. He's always responsive and willing to answer any questions I have, which says a lot when someone is handling your assets. I would say I've had a 90% success rate. Only wish I would have joined earlier. Excited to see what the future holds. Tobias Ray. Now, this let me explain this too. From what I understand, and I get it, a lot of business owners want a reference, but they want legitimate references. Let's be clear. In this particular case, Christian asked for a reference from Altira and Tobias. He sent her the message already typed. Okay? So all she had to do was cut and paste, send back, or whatever. He wrote this on her behalf. It happens. Okay? It happens. Is it genuine? Not necessarily. No. Not if I have to write my own review and then ask you, to attach it and that sort of thing. But that is what happened here. And even if it did not happen this way, in my opinion, even if Altira did feel like this on this particular day, because let's be clear, there are no dates here. Do you understand that we cannot see the date in which this was sent? There's no date. This was over a year and a half ago. Make it make sense. What does this have to fucking do with the fact that there was a default judgment the other day for $360,000+ with 20 people attached to it, and he lost? He didn't have an attorney. He didn't respond. He ain't got $5, $6, or $10 million. This is what is really exposed. What you're putting out here about Altira and Tobias and their relationship, all that stuff is stupid as fuck. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you what else I believe. I don't believe Jen did this. I'm just saying. I believe that Negro put this together and either posted it on Jen's page on her behalf or gave it to her to post. If he will send references and already written out to Altira or to his clients, why do you think he wouldn't do it with Jen? He probably also told his aunt to share the shit. So anyway, hey Braziliera. Okay, so I'll read Lauren's shit in a minute, but this is the actual post, okay? So there was that. She's given this reference. Again, this is over a year and a half ago now. This ain't got shit to do with what happened last week. Nothing. Next one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oops, sorry, y'all. How come it's not? Okay. All right. So I guess it's playing. Uh-oh. What's the music she playing? Okay, then this is Tobias. Tobias is saying, again, no dates. No dates. Dude, to be honest, wait, first, let me say this. You see, there's 101 text messages. These are text messages. 101 text messages unread. How much y'all want to bet that a good amount of those are people with problems and questions about their damn money? I'm just saying. How many of y'all believe that? Please hit the like button. Okay? So this says, dude, this is from Tobias to Christian. Dude, to be honest, out of everybody this girl set me up with, I lost almost 100K, but you the only one that's true to your craft, and I appreciate you. Matter of fact, you are the only true, real person I know. The woman I'm married to ain't even real. I can't even call her a wife, and that's just sad. I'm sorry, that's sad. It's just me, my dogs, and my daughter. Everybody else is undercover agents. I tell you, Chief, this woman is a trip. I take care of everything, and she continues to be slick. That's why I'm trying to get this going so I can move on. It's always the men that try to do right, and women do naive shit. Sorry, I'm even talking to you about this. I just don't have anyone else to tell my fault. First of all, Tobias, let me just say this. Stop talking to these motherfuckers. Okay, anyway, no, but Tobias has already apologized to his wife. They have worked this shit out, honey. You know, this is a thing of the past. And if you've ever been married, more than likely, y'all been through some damn shit. I'm just saying. So, so he's writing this. I don't know what this has to do with that damn judgment from the other day. What Tobias and Alteria got going on ain't got shit to do with it. And here's the other thing. Well, never mind. I ain't even going. It's not even point to go into. I'm sorry. Let me say, what's the song she using?
Bitches ain't shit, but
Not bitches ain't shit. Okay. You don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. Be gasoline. Set shit on fire. Okay, bitch, what you saying? This is why I don't believe that Jen is writing this shit. What are you really saying, sis? Hey, Tobias. Hold on. Is that it? Is that the whole thing? She posts those 2 text messages and said, you don't have to be everyone's cup of tea, big ass sling. Okay, so that's that. Okay. So then Lauren, when she reposted this, it says, well, bitches with no storyline at it again. Alteria, are you on Basketball Wives? Alteria, are you and Tobias? Are y'all on Basketball Wives? Or did you need a storyline? Is this why you did all this? You did all this because you're a cast member and you needed to do this, make this shit up, pretend as if he wrote you a promissory note, pretend that was him on the Zoom calls and not AI. What I don't understand what we're doing right now. She said, well, bitches with no storyline at it again. It's cool. Jennifer Williams and Gold Subscription, aka that nigga, will carry the season for you boring, no substance assholes again. I'm sure mommy and daughter too busy looking for another peen to share. You know what, Lauren, something is wrong with you, sis. I mean, honestly, something is wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with all of you. I don't know what these text messages have to do with the fact that this nigga got a default judgment because he stole money from people and did not pay them back. He did not follow the rules of the court. And that is why you are in a position right now, Christian, because you ain't do what you were supposed to do. So I don't know what Tobias and Alteria's personal marital problems have to do with you and that default. Nothing. They didn't work that shit out. Go work yours out. In a minute, Jen's gonna leave your ass. I'm just saying, she be stupid to stay, but she was stupid to marry you too. in my opinion. In my opinion. All right. So, and then here's the other thing. What the fuck does Evelyn have to do with this? What in the freak does this have to do with Evelyn? She's not a client. I mean, she is not was not a client of his. She was not a plaintiff as a part of this lawsuit or the next. She is not the ones that the FBI is talking to. Baby, this is y'all's problem. And Lauren, you keep it up, it's going to be your problem too, because you can fuck around and get some harassment charges. The way you be out here talking and messing with this lady and her daughter and they ain't got shit to do with you. And even if she has an opinion that says something about Jen, and let me be clear, I'm not taking up for Evelyn. Evelyn don't need me to take up for her. I'm just watching this shit, and it doesn't make any sense. But what I do know is Evelyn has known this girl over 20 years. You have been just riding her hanging from her tatas for the last 2 to 3. You are a groupie, Altera. I mean, oh, Jesus, not Altera. Oh, my God. Oh, not you, Altera, girl. Lauren, you come across like a groupie. You're giving groupie vibes. You want to do everything Jen is doing. You want to be everywhere Jen is going. You want to be in the mix so bad. But you have not been in the mix of helping this nigga pay this money back. You have not been in the mix of making sure he's paying his child support. You have not been in the mix to ensure that he had his attorneys. Remember, he has a great team of attorneys that were handling business behind the scenes. Well, it looks like he didn't have them. You're coming across like a groupie. Why are you talking about Evelyn? Why are y'all talking about Ateria and Tobias? None of this shit has anything to do with what the hell has been going on. It is stupid, dumb, and ridiculous. Wait a minute, let me see. Ooh, somebody over here says, I think it says Dontifer, like Christopher, but Dontifer maybe. Now let's post about these RICO charges. Let's be just as loud about that, Auntie. Auntie, let's be just as loud about them RICO charges. Let's be just as loud about that child support this nigga hasn't paid. But you want us to believe they building a house? They ain't building no damn house. And now that they got this judgment, they damn sure ain't building no fucking house. Child. Okay. I'm sorry. I act like this happened to me though. I ain't mean to. Okay, let's unshare this. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back to that. Listen to what she has to say now. Okay, now he's reading the caption that Jen had on the video when she posted it initially. So I'm going back just to here so you can hear what he's saying Jen posted. I just read the caption that Lauren posted, but because Jen deleted hers, I can't read that. So oh shit. Oh shit. I was playing it and y'all couldn't see it. Hold on. Okay. Let's see what she says. Or they say.
Did post this week an alleged text message. So I want to be able to read that. She did delete it. The blogs picked it up. The caption Jennifer says, as she posted the alleged text messages, the ringleader and husband of the witch hunt compliments yesterday, claims today. The timeline is interesting. Hashtag not here for a long time. Allegedly, these text messages are from.
What do you mean, Jen? The timing is interesting. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't the timing actually in many ways your husband dictated the time frame because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to do on some level. So it is what it is. I don't know what she meant by that. Okay, but he's gonna read the post that I just showed you. I just wanted you to know what he's talking about.
Two of the plaintiffs that sued him. So the text message reads, Christian is really a man of his word. I have been with Liquid Assets a few months in the account management class. He's always responsive and willing to answer any questions I have, which says a lot when someone is handling your assets. I would say I've had a 90% success rate. Only wish I would have joined earlier. Excited to see what the future holds. So that was one message. And then the other message appears to be, again, allegedly a text message exchange between Christian and this person. Not sure who's in blue, but I'll just read it. We can decide from there because we know how iPhones work. Child is blue and then it's not blue. Okay. So in blue, someone writes, fast money
God,
doesn't...
it's not green.
Right, it ain't green. Okay? No androids over here. It says fast money doesn't build wealth. Always remember that. Wealth desires patience. I've learned that the hard way. Then the same person texts, good morning. Reach out because I need honest answers. The person responds, what's going on? The response, when's the last time Tobias gambled?
Oh, wait, that's not the post. Wait a minute, that wasn't in this post. Altira, let me see. Is there another post? I guess she didn't catch that, but I guess she didn't forward his post, y'all. Okay, but listen, again, why are we talking about Altira and Tobias? What does that have to do with anything? I don't give a fuck if Tobias was gambling and betting the whole house, betting their cars and shit. That ain't got shit to do with what you did. What he does is nothing. And this idea, time builds wealth. The time can also cause you to go broke when motherfuckers are stealing your money. Make this make sense. Thank you, Cynthia A. This was before they knew they were scammed. You're not proving shit, and they didn't show any dates at that. Ugh. Anyway, we're going to listen. Let's listen, child.
The person wrote back, it's been about 3 weeks. He's borrowed money from everyone he can. He's even wrote fraud checks to himself, which resulted in my coffee shop account being shut down because he was on it. The person in blue allegedly, again, it's all alleged. This too shall pass for you both. I pray for the group as a whole. I understand everyone's going through things, including myself. There's only so much that's within my control. So these are the text messages that Jennifer posted. The last one is...
But did he post the promissory note that where he stated he was going to give them the money and had the amount in which he was going to pay them? And he had it was listed out for each person. So make this make sense. Fuck all this, you gotta wait. Fuck all that. He said he was going to give them the money by this date, and it has been over a year. So regardless of any of that, he lied and he stole. And that is why he has a default judgment, because he lied, he stole, he went broke, he didn't get an attorney, he didn't follow the rules, he didn't respond right or on time, so he has a default judgment, period. Period. Okay, but let's listen.
Is, dude, to be honest, out of everybody this girl set me up, I almost lost $100,000, but you're the only one that's true to your craft, and I appreciate you. Matter of fact, you are the only true, real person I know. The woman I'm married to ain't even real. He then ends it by saying, sorry, I'm even talking to you about this. I just don't have anyone else to tell my fault. So Jennifer posted those messages. They have not.
And what the fuck does it matter? What? You're just trying to humiliate somebody? Because you have been humiliated by marrying yet another scammer that has come in your life, Jen, you found it necessary to pull out some shit that had to do with Altira and Tobias's personal life from over a year and a half ago when they were first dealing with. So 2 years ago. This makes sense to you? You thought you was doing something, Jen? Jen, this is a question. This is not an accusation. But Jen, are you on anything? Like, do you use anything? I mean, hell, are you prescribed anything? Something ain't right. If you thought this made some sense, this looked like some shit a 30-year-old would do, not some shit a 50-year-old would do. Hell, I don't know no 30-year-olds that can't connect the dots and understand relevance, because this doesn't make sense to me that you are posting some shit about their personal life that ain't got a damn thing to do with that money you owe all of these people. What the Okay, I'm sorry.
Verified. It's all alleged. It appears that allegedly these are messages from a few of the plaintiffs, which is why she captioned it by saying, once again,
Not here for long.
not here for a long time. And then she said, when I say I'm blessed, I don't mean money or material things. I mean situations that were sent to destroy me didn't even touch my soul. The weapon was formed, but it did not prosper. So that had just been Jennifer's.
It formed and it prospered upwards to $400,000. Because if you add the 360 to the 25 and the fees and all that shit, we talking $400,000, nigga, that you owe right today. Right today.
Response. Christian has not responded yet. So what's next? What's next, Judge, in a case like this? Like you said,
Lies. Christian made these posts because, let's be clear, the text messages came to him, not to Jennifer. The Christian made these posts, gave it to these people to put up, and I see your little ass, nigga. I see your little ass. I bet you was a mess, Christian, as a little boy. I bet you was just as sneaky and manipulative as you fucking want. I'm sure you were adorable, okay? You're a little adorable little boy, I bet. You probably looked the exact same as you did as a child. And you have always been manipulative. This is my guess. I don't know you, but that's what it's giving. It's giving entitlement, narcissism. It's giving a lot of shit. I bet you were a problem. Just sneaky. What'd you say on Natty? V is probably more than that with daily interest. Oh, it is, because Altira, isn't it like $90 a day? Isn't it some crazy amount? Let me see. Altira, isn't it like the interest is like $90+ a day? I got it somewhere. I'll look it up. Okay. 98. So it's $98 a day. So you already owe about $500-$600 more than you did last week. Ciao. I can't. All right, let's listen. What's next, Judge? What's next? We almost done.
Earlier, Christian does have the authority to respond, but he would have to have a really good reason for not doing so and for them to reopen this. Is that correct?
Correct.
So again, in these kinds of cases, once a default judgment is entered, the plaintiff can now go about enforcement and collecting.
Hello.
Which is a whole nother process. But it leads to discovery of assets, possible liens and judgments, and figuring out how to actually collect the money awarded. Mm-hmm. That is going to be on the plaintiff side. On the defendant side in these types of cases, of course, they could honor the judgment, contact the plaintiff, and figure out how to settle this judgment, set up some kind of plan to settle this judgment, or they could, in court, file something asking for the default judgment to be set aside based on a legal reason.
Got it. If he does decide to settle, would that become public record? Would that settlement?
What you mean decide to settle? This what he owe. He owes this, period. Listen to what the judge got to say. Let's go back. I want you to hear the whole story. I mean, the whole question and the judge's whole answer.
In court, file something asking for the default judgment to be set aside based on a legal reason.
Got it. If he does decide to settle, would that become public record? Would that settlement have to be entered into the courts to satisfy this judgment? How can that happen?
That would be between the plaintiff and the defendant. The
Yerp.
court, unless there are new motions filed from the plaintiff or the defendant, the court is done. As far as the court is concerned, right now, this case is over.
Okay.
There are options that also have.
You hear that? Y'all hear Carlos's response? Carlos knows this some bullshit. Carlos knows that Christian is on fuck shit. Listen.
Deadlines and timelines.
I want y'all to hear Carlos's response. I'm going back just a hair.
Judgment to be set aside based on a legal reason.
Got it. If he does decide to settle, would that become public record? Would that settlement have to be entered into the courts to satisfy this judgment? How can that happen?
That would be between the plaintiff and the defendant. The court, unless there are new motions filed from the plaintiff or the defendant, the court is done. As far as the court is concerned, right now, this case is over.
Okay.
There are options that also have deadlines and timelines and statutory requirements that you have to respond in a certain amount of time, even if you want to ask the court to do something else.
Got it.
So the clock is ticking.
One way or the other.
Yes. But as far as the court is concerned, this case is closed and the court will not intervene again unless there's new motions filed.
So let me ask this though. When you say now this judgment is enforceable, is it up to the plaintiff to try to get it enforced? If I am Christian and Jennifer and I'm like, you know what, this is a headache. I don't even care about this public scrutiny. I want to settle. What assurances do I have that if I'm like, hey, I'll give you back the original amount? How does that satisfy the judgment though? If I'm like, okay, we'll settle on this. You're not getting $367,000 from me, $100,000 from me, but I'll give you the original 100. Would that have to be in writing? Like how do they protect themselves from somebody that
above and beyond anything the plaintiff would have to agree?
Okay.
Once you have a court order, that is the money you are owed. And you can go about collecting that as long as the money is owed.
So, baby, if there's no you trying to do some shit on the back end that was supposed to have been done on the front end. In fact, he did have an agreement with them, and they were expecting him to pay them, and gave him like 30 days to do it. And I think initially he said in a couple weeks, end of the month or whatever. Then it was like next month or whatever. Bottom line is, it's been over a year. He had a promise to pay in writing, and he did not do so. The plaintiffs are in charge now. This is it. It's done. He owes $360,000+. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah, Justin's mom, she sound clown. Okay. She sound clown. That's a clown statement. You know what I mean? Woo! Cynthia A said, too late. Give them the $300,000. $360,000, child, plus $500 since last week. Child, I mean, $100 a day? Nigga, this is going to be ugly. Because you know it ain't going to have this money right away. Altera said he could have saved himself hundreds of thousands if he paid over 2 years ago. The problem is he didn't have it, Altera. He did not have it. He ain't had that damn money and spent it. I don't know on what, but he did. Okay, let's listen. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. When she said there are things you can do to for the plaintiffs to collect their money, and so they will be checking first and foremost to see if there have been any fraudulent transfers, like if he did something to hide his assets. Says if money or property was moved to the spouse, transferred to relatives, shifted to LLCs, hidden after the lawsuit was filed, you can file a separate action to void those transfers, claw assets back, add transfers. Hold on. Okay. Okay, add transferees as defendants. In other words, if he has transferred money to Jen to try to hide it or sent it to his mama to try to hide it, they can become accessories. Basically, it says this can add the transferees as defendants. Georgia courts take this very seriously, especially after a judgment. And what usually happens next in cases like this, realistically, one of the three things happens. Number one, he pays or negotiates. Basically, often after the bank accounts get frozen, subpoenas go out, public records reflect liens. Then he tries to hide assets. This often backfires. Or he does nothing, and then there's garnishments, liens, interest accrues, judgment follows him for years. Now, let me say this. Y'all remember when Michelle Alien had to sue Funky Dineva, and 5 years passed before she got that money, but she was able to garnish his YouTube check. Now, Christian does not have a job. They don't really have a YouTube page that's doing anything or any social media that's really making money. But Jen is on a show, and he goes on that show, and I'm sure they give him a little change too when he shows up. Maybe, maybe not, but I would think that he gets a little something, some change. I want to know, will they start garnishing Jen's basketball wives check just to get that money? Because that's the only steady income that we know coming into the house. And right now, they don't even know when they're filming again. I saw someone say, I think it was Tasha K. Tasha K said the other day, Basketball Wives is canceled. That is not true. They have not been canceled. Not formally. They have not been canceled. There has been a delay on things because there was a merger that took place or an acquisition that Paramount bought. I don't know who they bought, but there was a deal behind the scenes happening. So with that said, there has not been a chance yet for them to even move forward with the show. So the show has not been canceled, but a date to film has also not been established. So until they are formally canceled, they still exist. My question would be, if they are filming, would the courts be able to garnish Jen's wages since she's married to him? I'm just curious. Is that a thing? Okay, so then it says interrogatories and requests for production. You can demand, this is what the plaintiff can demand. You can demand bank accounts, crypto wallets, business entities, income sources, contracts, trust, property, vehicles, accounts held by spouse or businesses. Failure to answer will basically mean that you are in contempt of court. And then what happens if Christian files bankruptcy? Because he might do that. First, the automatic stay happens, so everything will stop. Okay, if he filed bankruptcy. And the moment he files bankruptcy, this automatic stay goes into effect. Most collection activity temporarily pauses. And then this means garnishments, levies, bank freezes must release future action. But this pause is not permanent and it is not absolute. Second, most important, your judgment is very likely non-dischargeable. So he is not going to be able to file bankruptcy and then make that judgment go away. That's not going to happen. It might help with some of the other things he owes with, but it's not going to make this judgment go away. Because your judgment is based on fraud, false pretenses, false representations, the Georgia RICO Act, intentional misconduct, and treble damages. So it falls squarely on under 11 USC 523A. The key bankruptcy exceptions that apply to him would be fraud, debts obtained by false pretenses, false representation, and actual fraud, which is non-dischargeable. None of this shit is dischargeable. Let me just say that. The bottom line is the post-judgment interest is 9.75% per year, and there is a daily interest of about $98.28. The clock is ticking, baby. You need to pay. You need to pay. This increases the debtor's exposure over time, which strengthens your settlement leverage and enforcement position. This is talking about the plaintiffs. Okay. Altira said, our judgment and child support will not go away. Pay your child support. No offense to the plaintiffs, but that's who you need to be paying right away. Because, nigga, that'll get you locked up. That right there, that'll get your ass locked all the way the fuck up. Go pay that lady for your babies. All right. We're at the end of this. Let's listen.
Okay.
You know, in the past, we talked about lawsuits and being collectible. That is why people have to make sure that when they file lawsuits, they're actually going to be able to collect their judgments. And this goes back to if you are in a marital relationship and there is a default judgment against one party, your spouse could pay for that default judgment because a lien can be placed on any property that has your name on it. So if it's joint property, the lien can be placed on there. Monies can be collected from any accounts. If it's a joint account, of course, that is going to affect both parties. Again, and you have to open up your assets to the plaintiffs so that they can figure out how to collect this judgment if you do not just simply pay it.
Raindrops, thank y'all for coming back.
You see how that something was said that was edited. Something was edited out. That's why they laughing too. That's why this was an upload. That's why right before this you see them shaking their head. I'm gonna go back just a hint. I want you to notice something was said. They know this. They know these motherfuckers is in trouble. Okay, watch.
If it's a joint account, of course, that is going to affect both parties. Again, and you have to open up your assets to the plaintiffs so that they can figure out how to collect this judgment if you do not just simply pay it.
Look at that.
Raindrops.
You see that edit? You see that edit? Let's go back. She probably laid that shit out in a way and they didn't want to show that. Let me go back. I'm gonna go back one more time. I see you. I see y'all. Carlos. Let's listen one last time. Watch the edit.
Now, of course, that is going.
Watch Courtney's head shake too, child. Watch the head shake and then watch the edit.
To affect both parties. Again, and you have to open up your assets to the plaintiffs so that they can figure out how to collect this judgment if you do not just simply pay it.
Raindrops, thank y'all for coming
Yeah.
back to see us. We'll have another episode for you guys the week after next. But Courtney and Judge Tyranny, thank you for another insightful
Thank you.
episode
Thank you. And I just want
as
to say one
well.
more time,
Yes.
cannot ghost the court. I feel like that's something the raindrops can remember. You cannot ghost the court.
Ooh.
Okay? Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer. Respond, respond, respond. If you heard nothing else today, hear those things. Whether it is a criminal or civil court, you cannot ghost the court. Because if you ignore a criminal court, we issue a warrant for your arrest and you end up in custody. If you ignore a civil court, you end up with a default judgment without being able to tell your story.
Ooh.
No ghosting, guys.
Is there a timeline in which they must respond?
There are always deadlines, but they vary based on the jurisdiction that you're in, which is why you want someone who knows the rules, a lawyer.
Okay. All right, Raindrops, I heard that loud and clear.
Yeah, we heard it loud and clear. We heard it loud and clear. And you're right. You want to know the rules, right? You should know the rules. The rules are important. I want to show y'all something. This is off subject. This is off the subject. We'll come back to it. Let me, I'll end with that. Any questions? What y'all saying in here? Tony said, I'm surprised he isn't in jail for child support. Well, if you were here the other day, the baby mama was here and she said they're taking action as we speak. That passport gots to go. Cynthia A said, Carlos, thanks for the fake and phony video. Tony said, just pay your debt and apologize for mismanaging, stealing money. It's still a crime, unfortunately. Yeah. All he had to do was pay them people back. He's out here front. He's a liar. He's not worth all that money. Okay. Any other comments about this? I think we got the gist of what Carlos is over here talking about. Now, there is another video I want to react to. Oh, I saw it for the first time yesterday, and it just had me like, girl, it sounds so hypocritical. I want to come back and do it. I might come right back and do it because I'm in the mood right now. Okay. Now, the inspector, y'all, they finished the renovations yesterday. The inspector is supposed to come today at noon my time, so it's almost 11. But I still kind of want to do this anyway because I'm ready to do it. You know what I mean? Ready to do it. But I want y'all to watch this video with me. It is an interview that Jen did a year ago with Angela Yee, maybe 2 years ago. Let me see, when was it done? This was done 2 years ago. This was Jennifer Williams. She was on Angela Yee's podcast, okay? And she was on Lip Service. And, Angela Yee, who was formerly from The Breakfast Club, she knew Jennifer. She went to high school with Jennifer. And so they're friends. And so when things are going on with Jennifer, she comes on her show and stuff. So she came on to talk about this scammer guy that she was with a couple years back. Come to find out, there was another girl on the show who had also been scammed by the same man. So they were comparing notes. But if you hear her talk about this scammer, and you hear her say the things you need to do to protect yourself and the things she does now to prevent herself from being in that situation, and the things she has to say as a victim, it's so crazy to hear because she is saying the same shit that these victims of her husband's crimes have done. We're going to watch that shit. Altira said, do it so Tobias can watch too. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. I think we might do it here in a minute. Actually, I might go ahead and put these beans in the crock pot first. I might just do that, And then see, if he comes at noon, I might just stop and play something real quick, and then let him do what he needs to do. Okay, because I think I really want to do that. But before we go, let's talk about this weird ass auntie. I'm sorry, Lauren. I liked you, but you be doing some stuff that's not cool. I did like you at first, but now you're embarrassing me. Okay, I feel embarrassed, child. I feel embarrassed. Let me show y'all something else before we get out of here. There we go. Okay. All right. Can y'all see this is Auntie Lauren's IG. Okay. So the day after she posted this bullshit about Altira and Tobias, she comes out here and she decides to share this with the world. Now I don't know why. I really don't. This is, I don't know why this was necessary. Okay. This is off the subject. But she came out here looking like Wendy from Wendy's Hamburgers. Okay. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Born and raised. And Wendy's is homegrown. Wendy's is a big entity in Columbus because that's where it was originated. Okay. When Wendy's first came out, all you saw was Dave's daughter, who he sort of fashioned the young girl Wendy after. Okay, I don't know if her name was Wendy. It might be, right, but she looked like Wendy. This is looking like Wendy's. Don't make me. Hold on. We're just not gonna do this. We're not doing this. I don't know why she's doing it, but she did it. And I don't get it. Okay? I do not get why this lady. How come this is not? Can y'all see me? Ooh, Braziliera said Wendy's roots don't look like that. Them roots, baby. I was just talking about them roots to somebody yesterday or the other day. How come this ain't? Hold on. Okay. It says Wendy's Hamburgers. Cartoon. She looked just like this shit. Or Pippi Longstockings. I don't know which one it is. Shit, Wendy's looks better. Let me show y'all some. Okay. Let me just do this. Okay. We'll come back to her in a sec. You're not gonna tell me this lady is not giving Wendy's. Huh? You ain't gonna tell me she ain't out here trying to look like this lady. Hold on. You just ain't gonna tell me. You just not gonna tell me that she ain't trying to be Wendy. Huh? Huh? But like Braziliera said, Wendy's roots is on point. Okay? Huh? She was kind of dressed like this for Halloween, wasn't she? What did she dress up as? Like Mrs. Claus or some shit? A elf or some bullshit? Look at her. Look at her. There she go. Right under the fries. Looking just like this box of French fries. What the hell? Look at her. Ooh, that burger look good. Why you bullshitting? That's a lot of bacon. Now they're going too far. Now they are going too far. I was calling her Ronald McDonald before, but nope. She's Wendy. She's definitely Wendy. She's Wendy. Hey, girl. There she go. Okay. Now let's stop this foolishness, and I want you to see the foolishness that this auntie put out here. This somebody's auntie, child. This somebody's grandmama. This somebody's grandmama. This shit is somebody's grandmama. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you. This somebody's grandmama right here. Okay? I want you to hear what she says to her husband.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I got a trade-off. If I give you some head, will you take my hair down for me?
No.
First and foremost, this is somebody's grandmother. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, this is a grown ass woman. This is also the internet. The fact that she would even come out here with this bullshit is beyond my understanding. I don't get it. Please hit the like button. Okay? I don't get it. But once you get past that, the fact that she is offering up professionals on the internet to her husband tells me, based on his response, that you must be horrible at it. You must be trash. He was like, hell no. First of all, it doesn't even seem like that would be that big of a task to get him involved in to help you. But unless he's been through it before and you just be showing out, I don't know. But you offered him head on the internet. And he quickly turned you down on the internet. He married to your ass. He didn't think about, that's right, D-Dub, he didn't think about that shit. Michelle the Bell said, LOL, apparently she's not good at it. Apparently, let's be very clear, this is not a live. She posted this shit, she recorded it, and then thought about it, and then went through the process of uploading it. You've got to be kidding me. He didn't pause not 1 second. Cynthia said, and has the nerve to get mad when she gets no respect. This shit is trash. I cannot imagine coming out here, and that's her husband. That's her husband. But I can't imagine coming out here saying some shit like that. Did she think that was cute? Let's listen to it again, child. This is ridiculous.
I can't give you no head and you take my hair down for me?
No.
Oh! Twice.
But you like my head. You said I give good head.
Yes, you do.
But you ain't gonna take my hair down for me? Please?
No.
Hold on. Babe, I got a question for you.
I can't.
Yes.
I got a trade-off. If I give you some head, will you take my hair down for me?
No.
I can't give you no head and you take my hair down for me?
No.
But you like my head. You said I give good head.
Yes, you do.
But you ain't gonna take my hair down for me? Please?
No.
Let me hear this one. One more time for this first part.
No. Babe, I got a question for you.
Yes.
I got a trade off. If I give you some head, will you take my hair down for me?
No.
I wonder if Christian offered, would that help? What y'all think? I wonder if Christian said he'd do it. Would that, could she get her hair down then? Anyway, I'm coming back. It might be within the next, it's going to be soon. I'm coming back. We're going to do a review of this other interview that Jen did, because I think it's important to hear how she speaks on this man who is a scammer, and how she speaks as a victim, and what she thinks is fair and what she wants to see happen. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest, once I heard all this, I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that feels like, I don't know, is Jen so frustrated with being scamming that she decided to become one too? Did she decided to partner with one as well? Because I can't really explain what's going on right here. The only conclusion that I came to from this particular live that we're doing is that basically Lauren gives trash head. That's a definitive answer. So I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody who's been here. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss nothing. I didn't. Okay, good. Thank you guys for being here today. I love you so much. I want to thank all the moderators who were holding me down. Baby, I'm coming back here very soon, probably within the next 30 minutes, okay? I'm about to go put these beans on in the crock pot and set up the next live, and I'm coming right back. Y'all rocking with your girl today? I didn't come live yesterday. I got to get it in, okay? So I'm going to go live here within the next 30, 40 minutes, I think, okay? All right, I hope to see you all there. Be here or be square, okay? Okay. I want you to beat me back. Okay. Wait, my neighbor's not girl said, may my relationship never get to the point where my man prefers washing dishes over me. I honestly have never known a man to be like, nah, I'll pass on the head. I'm good. Like, I mean, look at her hair, y'all. It's a mess. I'm so glad she getting that shit taken. Here, look. I'm still looking at it. Hold on. I am so glad she is getting this shit taken out. Get that shit gone, girl. That shit is a mess. Come on, Wendy. Do better. Do better, Wendy. All right, we're out of here. I love y'all to pieces. I'll see you in a minute. Y'all better come back here and hang with your girl. You better. Okay? And that's it. That's all. I love y'all to pieces. I'll see y'all in a minute. Mwah! Smooches.
VLenore.